A very good morning to you and welcome back to K24 this morning. My name is Mungala and it's a Tuesday rather. We talk about money here. Speaking of which, I do have the people who make all the money or at least know how to make the money. I don't know how much they have in their pockets, but the point is at least they know their stuff. I am talking about none other than Mr. Abraham. How are you doing, sir? It's been a while. Umetuhepa juu ya coronavirus. COVID-19.
Even here, don't get very close to me. Just stay right there.
So let's get a little your spacing. Kuna venye nime make sure.
We are glad.
Madam Frida as well, welcome. The last time I checked, Mara sijui ni Vancouver, Mara ni Toronto, Mara ni Atlanta, Mara ni Kisumu.
Sijaenda Italy, so relax. Italy si kuingia, so yeah.
Because kama ni cha hivyo, I think you should be given a split screen. We have another studio downstairs we don't use. We can transfer you there. Are you okay?
Sijaenda China. Yeah? Imagine China sijafika.
Okay.
Sijui Wuhan. No.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Welcome to the show. And
Thank
of course,
you.
Mr. Samuel, karibu tena sana.
Asante sana.
Shiko was actually telling me that, oh my God, you're coming. And I said, you know, I have to meet this amazing gentleman. So karibu sana.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We want to talk about valuing our business, and a lot of us, when we start businesses, I think we just start businesses for the sake of starting a business because you need a side hustle.
That's right.
Sometimes you need to keep yourself busy. Yeah. Sometimes you're opening it for your, I don't know, your wife or client or whoever. But we never get Frida Chakucheka.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We are in Kenya.
We are
allowed up to 4. So
be honest about our situation.
Yes.
So in regards to valuing our business, first of all, how do we even start understanding the value of any business whatsoever? Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Yes.
Abraham first is the economist. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me stop playing. Thank you so much for having us again, Bufi.
Karibu.
I think the value of our business begins with us auditing our vision. And our vision is a clear mental image of the preferable future that our business is creating. For example, Passion Profit exists to make sure that the statistic that says that we have 17 million SMEs, but less than 70% of them are making it to their 3rd birthday. So our value proposition is to help SMEs grow beyond their 3rd birthday and succeed, still be on the radar after 3 years. So when we want to talk about increasing our business value, we need to audit and see the tasks, the activities you're engaging in, are they still taking us towards that mission, towards achieving that vision, that more SMEs are growing and succeeding. So once you have a vision, then you can now start having measurement parameters. So we measure, how do we measure? One, how many SMEs have we helped and are still growing? And what does growing mean? How much are they making? We really want to help SMEs make $1 million or more every month.
Okay.
Because when we speak to SMEs, we find that we ask them, are you making, do you make a profit? I don't know, Maswali. And then, do you pay yourself? They say no. And then many people are hiding away from paying VAT because they have not reached 500,000 a year. So I'm thinking, when do you want to reach 500,000 a year? And how much is 500,000 a year today? And what can it really do for you? So it's really beginning to help them think bigger and find out what is their passion, what is under their skin. I've talked about skin here before.
Right.
What is under their skin and how can they make sure that they do something more meaningful, not just about making money, but be able to pay themselves, hire others, because when we're looking at growth, we're looking at you're able to pay yourself, there's consistent revenue, you're able to pay staff, you're able to expand.
Right.
There's impact happening, changes happening because your business exists. Then now you're valuable. So there'll be parameters to measure that value.
All right. Some will probably come to you. In regards to some of the things she has said, first of all, not many SMEs make it to their 3rd birthday. So that means maybe after 2 years, you know what, it makes sense. You know, that's a very interesting statistic, if you look at it.
Yeah.
So does it mean that a lot of our businesses are actually valueless, for lack of a better word?
I agree with Frida 100%. And I would say one of the pillars that people lack is on the passion. We're just having a discussion. Yeah. When I just got into image consultancy,
right,
she was my coach. That was 2012.
Okay.
And you see, it has not been a very short journey. That has been a very long journey. If I didn't have one of the greatest pillars, that's about passion, and that's the energy, that is the drive, I wouldn't be here today.
True.
Maybe I would have tried so many different things by the end of the day, I wouldn't have achieved as much I've been able to achieve today. So I agree with her in terms of the energy that is required, in terms of the drive that is required, because if you invest into any business, but there is no drive, there is no energy, the probability of you closing within the first year,
very high.
Even with not 3 years, 1 year, they're very high.
Yes.
Extremely high.
Wow.
Yeah.
Abraham, now from an economist's point of view, there's probably someone who's just seated in the house thinking, but me, I sell shoes online, probably I sell dresses online, or I do whatever, and I'm making money, so I don't want to get valuing my business. What exactly are they talking about?
You see, valuation of business is actually a scientific process, and there are various methods to do it. Now, one of the most popular methods is to look at a business and look at what are its potential future cash flows, and use that to factor and give it a price. Now, what am I saying here? When you get into business, unless it's a not-for-profit organization, you go in to make money.
Definitely.
Right.
Now, so we are looking at what is the potential cash flows in the future for this business. All factors help. That is one method. The other method, you could say, okay, we value the lights, we value the seats, we value everything. That is the value. Asset valuation, where you're just looking at the asset. You're saying, if today we were to sell everything, this is what we would get. And this is even the last one. You said, if today we were to redo K24, what would it cost for us to put all these things? But now,
just a second, because I want to indulge Frida into something that you've just said.
Yes.
Frida, there's like a part you said in your intro about, do you pay yourself? Do you pay your staff? Do you, and he has mentioned something quite important. And we always call staff human resource.
Yes.
So do we also value them? If I have Abraham and I pay Abraham, I don't know, 100,000 a month.
Yes.
Do I also include that in my business valuation?
Yes.
As I include the cost of this table is 5,000?
Absolutely, because the people working in your business are trading their time for money, and that money you're paying them. And Abraham has clearly said that we're looking at one way of looking at it is that valuing is looking at the cash flow, and the cash flow will be determined also by how much is flowing towards the people that you have employed.
Right.
So looking at revenue, looking at people, looking at assets, and now most importantly at the planet. How are you adding value to the planet?
Okay, by planet you mean the entire globe,
Sorry?
You mean the entire globe, yes.
Yeah, but you see, the planet is the entire globe, but it starts with your little corner where you are, all right? Right here on Kijabe Street.
Yes.
If K24 disappeared, would Kijabe Street notice? And why would they notice? Because remember, you are here to create a more preferable future.
Right.
So you're affecting lives.
Okay.
Okay, and you're affecting lives. Their jobs. You're giving people information through your media channels.
Can you take my parking money every single day?
So
that's my contribution.
Kanjo is happy that you exist. Every day you give them 300. You understand?
Yeah.
So people, when you look at the triple bottom line, people, planet, profit, so it covers all that in a very simplistic way.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Abraham, probably coming back to that statement you were making about now valuation in terms of even the seats and the whatever, that's one way of looking at it. Which other way do we have of looking at it?
Yeah, you see, I've given you 3 methods, but you see, there's something she's talked about the human resource. It's a very interesting, when businesses talk about their key personnel, they'll say this, they'll put them on their profiles. But if you look at the financial statement very carefully, where do staff fall under? Staff expenses. They don't fall under staff assets. They don't fall under assets.
All right.
So that is the sad part about it.
Really?
Yes. In a financial
I'm
statement.
not an asset at K24.
No, you're under staff emoluments. Expenses. So those 3 valuations, it's because like for example, if especially most of these techie businesses, like today if you are to value Uber.
Yes.
Uber, probably apart from the few laptops and they have in their business, they don't have much.
Okay.
But if you look at the potentiality of cash flow, that is what they are value based. So that's the most popular. It's called the discounted cash flow method. That's the best. But instead of using pure assets, is where now, if you're in real estate, it makes more sense now
to say value, I have 10 houses.
Yeah, to value your assets.
Yes.
So these business valuations are made. But I want to make a disclaimer here. Even as you start your business, you are the dream owner.
Okay.
You know, today, what you dreamed at night, it would be very sad today if I came and started casting doubt and telling you did not dream that way, it was this way, and you're the one who dreamt it.
Yeah.
So how do you allow yourself as a dream owner to be shot down by people who have not seen what you're seeing in your dream?
Okay.
And so you have to have the resilience. That's why you see this guy this guy of electric cars, Elon Musk. He's moving on because he can see something which none of us can see. He looks crazy, but he's pushing on. So for me, if you're a business, if you have seen a solution that you think that the world needs, and everybody thinks you're crazy, I think just continue being crazy.
Absolutely.
Because at the end,
That's the
everybody else will be proved crazy.
I think he needs a clap.
And some will continue being crazy.
Yeah. Samuel has been crazy the last 5 years. No, more than 5.
More than
since
5 years.
2012.
Being crazy.
That's the passion.
Yes.
And all you are
about.
seeing is seeing something that other people can't
Cannot
actually
see.
see.
Yeah.
That's very powerful.
Because when I started like DTI, most of my friends were like, "Moraga hii ni nini umeanzisha?"
Yeah.
You know, being an
Those
investment
statements will
advisor.
come.
But I couldn't see what I was seeing.
Yeah.
But for some now they can see.
Okay.
Because mostly it's giving value in communication.
All right.
Because 85% of the financial success is based on how you are good in communication, negotiation skills, and leadership. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll talk about those values in a couple of minutes. I want to include the audience, rather, you guys at home or in the office, in the car, whatever it is that you're watching, to get in on the conversation and use our various communication lines from WhatsApp to SMS, Twitter, and Instagram. And the question of the day that I want to ask you, for you to actually interact with us on, is how do you value your business? How do you value that kibanda yako ya madondo? How do you value that taxi business that you run? How do you value that boda business that you run? Whatever it is, whether you do fashion, how do you value your business? Do you even understand the value of that business? Would you say that you're worth, I don't know, 10 bob or 10 million? Let us know, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as well, including WhatsApp. And Samuel, I'll come back to you in terms of those value systems you've just mentioned, in terms of communication.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know that some of these things that are not tangible actually do contribute to the value of the business. How many times have I walked away from a supermarket because a staff member probably wasn't there to even assist me find that screwdriver? How many times have I, walked out of a taxi because I feel like jamaa ako rude, ama hajaoga, vitu tu zinakufanya utoke. Just how important is communication when it comes to business?
It's very key. It's very key because we usually say you might have very good products, very good services, but I usually say the inability to communicate on the same to the target market is like winking at a girl in the dark.
It's true.
You have to have the skills to share the experience, to share about the services that you have. In other words, what you do have as an organization or as a business, do you have the same energy to communicate the same to the audience? So communication is very key. As I said, it's about negotiation skills. It's about leadership skills. It's about also communication. We round it off like that. So it is very, very important. Actually, even as I put it across on human resource, how much have you put into the human resource so that you can be able to help them become better in terms of communication? Very key. And you've talked something that is very important. You get to a supermarket, you're looking for something, but the person who is supposed to help you, the attendant, maybe even they cannot communicate about what you really what you want.
Yes.
In other words, it goes down to the income because sales is equals to income. If you cannot sell, then you're not in business. And every business is about selling. And business requires communication skills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Frida, a lot of people cannot communicate. Sometimes it could be language barrier. Sometimes it could be they just do not know how to talk, or rather to even communicate. You come to them, again going to the screwdriver part, nataka unyuzie screwdriver. Kuna ile screwdriver ndogo.
Yeah.
A lot of these people will be like, either they'll be rude about it, or they just feel lazy. Hiyo screwdriver manzejo, siwendo katafute kwa Abraham. Mimi sijisikii kwenda kuangalia huko juu kama hiyo screwdriver number 19 niko nayo,
Yeah.
How can they make sure, like what you guys do at Passion Profit, to make sure that guys actually understand that screwdriver that you think costs 5 bob, to you when you multiply how many 5 bobs you can sell, itakusaidia in the long run?
Absolutely, Mbuvi. You see, there are a couple of factors that come into play. So a lot of times you're looking at a symptom or a fruit of an existing root. So it again starts with vision. And vision is like the dream owner. What are you dreaming about? What do you want to achieve, all right? So once you have a vision, then you package it into a value proposition, all right? We've had the vision that we have is to help more SMEs grow and succeed. The value proposition is that we'll help them to be more competent, compliant, and access to capital ready. All right? So when you have your vision and your value proposition, the next thing is processes. Who do you need and what is going to be happening so that this value proposition can turn into profit? All right? So what are the, because we normally start with the people before the processes.
Yes.
It's important to start with the processes before the people because people will come in with a culture that they already have. But when you have a process that these are the kinds of people that I need to deliver this value proposition, and when they come in, the first process is to take them through an orientation so that they understand what is going on in here and who are the people that we serve, how should they be served, and if they're not served this way, what are the consequences? And if they're not served, the consequence is that there'll be no money to pay you, and we may allow you to go and thrive somewhere else. So I find that these things are not taken are not taken into consideration systematically, and then because a lot of SMEs are lazy, and lazy. I use the word lazy politely about the people they hire. All right, I find that when we're working with people, they're not like the SME wants to hire you as a consultant to do X, Y, Z.
Right.
And they don't realize that, a very good example, we have a client we're working with on digital marketing strategy. For us to do your digital marketing, you're the expert in that product. You have to give us your raw content. And then the marketers will, fashion that content into marketing content. Now, the owner does not want to engage in that process. So they need to give us somebody to work with. The person they have given us to work with can barely communicate. So now they keep throwing it back to us. So we are saying, no, this is a business development problem, not a marketing problem. So to go back to your question, we have to have the vision. What is the value proposition? What is the process of getting this to market? And who are the people that we need to make sure it happens? And who are the people that need it?
I feel like we're in an economics class. And I hope you guys at home having a pen and paper. Speaking of which, we have a gentleman calling from home, Joshua from Kirinyaga. Joshua, good morning.
Buvis kamo kaka.
Na mokanesa na aku?
Niruhusu leo nitumie lugha ya Kiswahili.
Ni sawa, haina shida.
Na labda leo nisamehe tu kwa sababu leo sioni kama nitachangia mada ya leo. Manake kwa hivi sasa nchini nadhani ikiwa watu wengi ambao kweli watatilia maanani au akili zao ziko katika mada ya leo. Kwa sababu ya hili janga la COVID-19.
Haina shida. What is your question or comment?
Ombi langu mi kwanza kwa serikali. Ningeomba kweli hii biashara ya miraa kwa hivi sasa serikali isimamishe. Manake ukiangalia kwa mfano kama kuna mtu mmoja ambaye atakuwa ameugua katika kaunti ya Meru ambao hiyo miraa isafirishwe katika kaunti zingine. Na tulikumbuka kwamba miraa ni biashara ambayo mmea wenyewe haufanyiwi usafi wowote. Alafu hata wale watumizi wenyewe ukiangalia hali yao nao si nzuri. Kwa hivyo ningeomba serikali kwa hivi sasa
isimamishe
cheze siasa katika swala la huu ugonjwa, isimamishe, isitishe biashara ya miraa. Alafu mwishowe nikimalizia naomba Wakenya wenzangu jamani tujaribu kufuatilia ushauri wa serikali. Hizi tabia za watu katika bus stand, watu kushikana, makanga kushika mtu kusukumana, tuangalie kwa sababu wakati itafika hili janga ukiangalia nchi ambazo zimeendelea zile changamoto ambazo hizo taifa zinapitia, ukiangalia kweli haya majanga yakitufikia hapa kweli kakangu naona itakuwa msiba mkubwa. Hilo ndio ombi langu na nawatakia Wakenya wote kila laheri na tuombe Mungu.
Thank you very much, Joshua. That's actually a public service announcement courtesy of a very lovely viewer. Thank you, Joshua. We also have a text on WhatsApp. Let us see what you're saying. Guys, imagine huwa naenda kufulia watu nguo. What am I going to do with the chamas I have? Please advise. Okay. In regards to coronavirus, this is what he's talking. And also Joshua, what he has said, it might just look like a PSA, but if you think about it critically, for now guys who are in such businesses such as Mira, Kufua Nguo, what happens because clearly the value of their businesses is going to go down. Who's going to buy Mira knowing that it's coming from Somalia, which has, 1 or 2 reported cases of, corona, probably starting with you, Mr. Abraham.
See, I think what you not address, sorry,
Do you need sanitizer? No? You okay.
He has
Carry on.
It was not a cough.
Okay.
It was a clearing of the throat.
All right.
Now, the point I'm trying to make is this.
Yes.
Even when you're doing evaluation, evaluation is time bound. Because, like for example, a business that was valued 3 months ago, and it is in an industry that is that involves contact, and if it were revalued now, it's probably a tenth of that value because of just COVID-19.
The value has gone down?
It has gone down.
Okay.
There are businesses, like the ones that do this business and sanitizers, now probably their value has gone 10 times up. So what am I trying to say? Even as you're doing your business, you have to keep scanning your environment, that as it changes, you shift. Because you've read that book, Who Moved My Cheese? You have to keep smelling your cheese.
Yeah.
To make sure that it's still fresh. Because as the environment changes, if you don't change with it, you'll be left completely irrelevant. Even now with this issue that has come,
COVID-19.
Yeah, people have to adjust. You see, they're telling people work from home.
Yes.
But now there's certain businesses that involve contact. Like that lady is saying, Kufulia Nguo. Kufulia Nguo has no other way. Either she comes
have to be there.
or she doesn't come.
Yes.
But remember, there's a new company that has come in town that was just starting. I don't know how far they've gone. That now you'll be able to call them. They can pick your laundry at whatever time you want.
They clean.
And they return it when you want. Now imagine if that company was up and running now. It would have gone through the roof. Probably they're still around. So what am I saying? Even as you're doing your business and as you're projecting, always try and look at the horizon. Because what works today will not work tomorrow.
Samuel, I'll still bring you to the issue of Joshua, the miraa issue, where he's saying, kwanza serikali isimamishe maneno ya miraa. And the lady, of course, who has said, now she's not getting calls anymore from clients. Now, obviously, like Abraham has said, their businesses have gone down. How do we ensure, even with the changing trends, we ensure that that business that we are doing, we are able to adapt? Because there's some businesses, like, sasa kama ya kufua, assuming that lady is called Stella, Stella is grounded. That means no unga for her family.
For her family.
Yeah.
That is very true. And for me, because we all read the Bible, there were 4 lepers. And they were grounded.
Yeah.
And they asked themselves, if we sit here, we'll die.
We die.
If we go there, we might as well die. So what do we do? Let's take a step of faith.
Yes, it's true.
So in other words, you have to be very innovative. And that's how innovation comes in. What do I need to do so that I can be able to adjust?
Yeah.
Like in our case, we've been talking about trainings in public speaking. Now people can't come in for the classes. So I cannot just sit down and say, until the corona is done, then I'll still come back. No, you have to change, as you said. You have to adapt changes.
Yeah.
Think about something that you can do. Because there is always an idea, and that idea is actually inside that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also inside you.
Frida, I can see you're burning with something.
Yeah, I'm like the lepers. I don't sit still when there's trouble.
Yeah.
I think for the lady, because she's not going to wash clothes in a large gathering. She's going house per house. So again, follow the health regulation suggestions that make sure you're sanitized before she goes into the home. Whatever she needs to do, wash. Maybe the person that is having her in her house will have her sanitized before she washes her clothes, and the clothes that she has come to wash.
Yeah.
And then I think, for me, this situation is really going to push us to think of innovative ways to adjust and adapt. What if in that estate, they all changanyisha and, they all changa, we like changaring, and get a washing machine. We do a harambe, get a couple of washing machines, then we'll be using that, and then allow these girls that come into the estate to man the washing machines. We really need to start thinking innovatively instead of, what are we going to fall down and die? And then with the miraa, I'll allow the health people to talk about the miraa.
Hiyo isimamishe kwanza.
Hiyo isimamishe
Sikulangi miraa.
Sikulangi miraa.
Ngoja tu kuna Tom kutoka Kinangop. We have a caller.
Missy daktari wa miraa. But this girl can carry on washing clothes one at a time.
Okay, just hold on. We have a call on the line from Kinangop. Tom, hello. Charles,
Yes,
sorry.
good
Charles, good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, sir.
Okay, what is your question or comment?
Now, well, I'm so grateful to the gentleman and the lady.
Yes.
Because of the good show that you have today.
Thank you very much.
Now, well, I just wanted to ask this question.
Okay.
Because sometimes we fear investing or starting businesses, maybe because of not knowing the capital or the I would say the investment you want to make. Eh?
Yes.
Now, like for example, I want to invest with the 200,000. Eh?
Okay.
Now, is that enough maybe to pay my staff, to pay my rent, to pay my school fees, for my upkeep? Yeah, maybe I just wanted someone to maybe
Advise
emphasize
you.
on that so that we don't fear investing, because sometimes we think it's too low to invest with. Eh?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and maybe there's the best show where we get uplifted, we get encouraged. Yeah, because like here in Kinangop, we have small scale farmers and all that. Eh?
Yeah.
People with little strength, and maybe they want to get uplifted. Maybe they want to invest. Maybe they want to, you know. I hope you're getting me.
All right. Charles, I think I've gotten what you're asking. Let me see if I can get the panelists to adequately answer that particular question. Starting with you, Samuel, obviously you are a person who has started your business or businesses, and Charles here has 200K. He's probably wondering, Sasa, your pesa, is it enough to start a business and still pay staff? It depends on what he's starting.
It depends, but of course you don't end up using the 200,000 that he has. In this case, he needs to spend maybe like 30% to start with.
That is about 60,000.
Around 60,000.
Yeah.
For him to look into what he can invest with 60,000. And we look into areas to do with the passion. For me, I really dwell on that because from the time 2012, I went in for her classes.
Yeah.
I learned a lot in terms of one of the greatest pillars that you can actually use to prosper and to pass your business from one generation to the other is what you are really passionate about.
Okay.
Yeah, based on your strength, based on the past experiences, that will actually help you build up a business.
Okay.
So you can look into what you can invest with, or 60,000, and then from there, as a business continues to grow, then you can also continue to pump in the amount of money that you're making. Yeah.
Okay. And I also believe he doesn't have to have staff initially, depending on what is. Yeah.
I
will let you comment on Charles in a minute. I want us to take a break. We'll still talk about Charles and his 200,000. Kuna watu I'm sure wakona wanangoja hivi hata mimi niko na 200,000 nataka kuona kama naweza invest. So do stand by, that conversation goes on in a couple of minutes. We'll be right back.